Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this video, I'm going to talk to you about my new website that's up and going. So back up a little bit, I wanted a website for my newsletter. I wanted a website where I could curate news articles. I could have a website that was my own domain name. I had a subscribe box so that people that landed on the site could subscribe to the newsletter, all that good stuff. I started making it and I was trying to do it on my own. I was watching videos on YouTube and I created an initial site off of WordPress, bought a domain name, simpleamericannews.com, and was starting to build it out from there. And just kind of came to the point where I couldn't get the site to look how I wanted. I have no background in creating websites and it was becoming a really long process and I just wasn't happy with the progress I was making on creating the website. So reached out to some people on Upwork, found someone to help me kind of design the site, do kind of like the back end work on it, get it the way that I want it to look. And worked with him and we kind of designed it together and it's looking pretty good so far. But at the same time, it's one of those things where as you go along, there's always stuff I want to tweak. I always think of a new idea and I want to add this to the website or I want to add this tab or I want to add, I want it to look like this. I want these colors. So it's constantly changing, but I got the site up and running. This is kind of how it looks right now. I want to take you through it a little bit. So the beginning part of the website, I'm going to post a picture here. And as you can see, it's just, the Simple American and I got my newsletter subscription box there, stay informed. That was super important because I wanted that on the website so that people that landed on the website could instantly subscribe to my newsletter because that's what I want, right? I want more subscribers to my newsletter. So that's super important and I think that that looks great at the top of the website. Then as you can see, it's going to say mainstream media, alternative media, my articles. So what I'm doing here is kind of change, but also a little bit different, but also kind of meshing a couple different media ideas, media companies. So for the mainstream media articles and the alternative media articles, those are just points I'm writing about in my newsletter. But what I'm doing is I'm not writing about them per se. I'm putting them up there, posting them as a headline, and I'm giving a quick one-liner like you'd see in my newsletter, and then the link to the source that I got it from. So like for mainstream media, if job reports come in, just hypothetically, if jobs report come in and they look great, okay, job report, I make a post, job reports come in better than expected, click on the link, and it's a hyperlink to a CNBC article, okay, so that you can read there. Say for example then too, some political issue comes about and this would be for alternative media. Political issue comes out, I title it for the post and then I put a hyperlink to Huffington Post where I read about it, or I put a link to Daily Wire. Just want to give both the left and the right, but that's an example of what I do for alternative media. So I'm connecting mainstream media with alternative media, and then my articles, that will be where I'll be doing some writing down the line. But a big idea that I'm having with my newsletter and reporting news, talking about daily news, is I want to curate articles so that they're faster and easier to digest. So on my newsletter, I just do bullet pointed news, quick and easy. And sometimes people want a little bit more information than just the bullet, but at the same time, they don't want to read an article for 10 minutes. So what I do in my articles is I'll curate articles that I find online. So say I find an article from Reuters, or say I find an article from NBC News. I will take that, I will shorten it up into one paragraph or two paragraphs, so you're getting more info than you would get on the newsletter bullet, but you're not getting the huge long article that you traditionally would. So I'm curating it, making it shorter, simplifying it, and putting it into my own post on one of my articles. And I'll show you guys kind of what, a traditional post here of mainstream media or alternative media, or I just do a one line with a hyperlink. That's what it looks like right here. And then also, if I'm doing one of my articles, it will look like something more like this. Check that out there. So that's what it looks like. Then one other thing that I really like here is, and I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm thinking about expanding this, but at the bottom of the website, I have home, I have contact, and I have sources. If you click on the sources button or the sources tab, sources link, whatever. It will take you to a page where I hyperlink a ton of different news outlets, a ton of different media companies, of places that I'm reading from, what I like, but also it's from across the political spectrum. It's, across from, I got things from crypto to daily news to political news to economic news. Anything you want is going to be on there. And I'm constantly adding to this list, but I'll show you guys what that kind of looks like in a picture here. So take a look at that. But again, kind of what I'm doing here, and the reason I like this site right now is I'm combining mainstream media with alternative media. So it's a one-stop shop for all things media, all things news. I'm curating my own articles, kind of the idea behind my quick newsletter, the quick briefs, but more detailed articles. So I'm curating news there and kind of trying to make the site a place where I will drive traffic to from my newsletter. So down the line, what I'll be doing is I will post a bullet in my newsletter of a story from the day, and instead of hyperlinking to, an article from Yahoo Finance or an article from CBS, I will hyperlink to my website, whether it be an article that I curated or just a blog post that I made that will redirect you to a hyperlink from Associated Press or, the Daily Beast, whoever it is, okay? So that's kind of the idea behind it. Super excited about the website. It's been a long process trying to get this up and running, but it officially is a go, simpleamericannews.com. Check it out. And super excited about it, super happy with the way it looks. But again, I'm constantly changing it here. I have big plans that I'm going to be adding to it. I think just down the line with adding more sources, adding more tabs to kind of separate politics from business, from, crypto, from current events, all that good stuff. So lots of adjustments coming down the line, but the site's up and running. It looks good. I'm happy with it so far. I hope you guys check it out. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.